The Plant Protection and Regulatory Services Directorate of the Food and Agriculture Ministry has confirmed the invasion of fall armyworms in Ghanaian farms, and that's on Ghanaian farms. And some maize farmers in the Ashanti region say they're already recording a drop in the yield as a result of the pest infestation. Kofi Edu-Domfe speaks to the Regional Plant Protection Officer Godson Tete on the implications for food security and control mechanisms. Over to you, Kofi.
A recent report by scientists indicates that the problem of armyworm infestation on agricultural production in Africa is indeed high. Countries on the continent, including Ghana, are at the risk of having this invasion of armyworms on their maize production. Now, even here in the Ashanti region, some farmers are already complaining that they are getting to see some of these armyworms on their farms. I'm here to speak to the Ashanti Regional Officer of the Plant Protection Unit of the Agricultural Ministry in the person of Godson Tete, to let us understand how serious this issue is here in Ghana and, to be specific, in the Ashanti region. Thank you, sir, for joining Midday Live. Let me first understand, is this something that farmers should be worried about, the armyworm infestation?
Yeah, the fall armyworm infestation is a serious pest in Ghana currently. Last year, we had complaints of that particular pest all over virtually about 7 regions of this country. The fall armyworm is a very devastating pest that can threaten the food security of Ghana. If government should want to tackle food security very, very seriously, then it means government must also act very seriously when it comes to the fall armyworm problem.
Is this something that you're already recording here in the country?
Yeah, last year we experienced the fall armyworm in Mampong, Agogo, and Hemine in the Kwabri East District. And currently we have had reports of that problem showing up at Obuasi and Afari in the Achuma and Wabeja districts.
And how serious is it in terms of the effect on maize production?
It's a very serious problem. I mean, a farmer cultivates about 5 acres, and virtually about half of the acreages have been disturbed by this particular pest.
Your unit, what are you doing currently in terms of research and ability to control the pest?
Yeah, currently we've started sensitizing all the district directors to be on the lookout to report the case to the regional office of the Plant Protection and Regulatory Services. The municipal directors of agriculture are supposed to liaise with their extension officers to sensitize the various farmers on that particular place, so that they could be on the lookout, so that when it comes out in the initial stages, we can combat it in the early stages, so that it can become very easier to combat it, rather than allowing it to just show up in the latter stages when it becomes very difficult to control it.
So, as it stands now, what can the average farmer do should they experience the infesting of the pest on their farm?
The only control measures now is to resort of all the right agrochemicals. So any farmer who encounters that problem will have to either get closer to the agricultural office in this particular area for the agricultural officer to recommend the right pesticides to be used to control the particular pest.
Somebody will say cost could be a factor. Is it so easily accessible and cheap for the average farmer to afford?
The current prices of the agrochemicals in the market, it's not all that expensive. An average farmer could be able to purchase the agrochemical.
From your perspective, can you really say that as a country we will be able to contain this fall armyworm, as the scientists even strategizing how they can help control the pest across the continent?
Yeah, the fall armyworm can be combated. Ghana has experienced serious cases of even the armyworm in many years, but we've been able to come out with better control measures to be able to combat that particular pest. So the fall armyworm is just like the pest in the same moth family as the armyworm. So there are control measures. If you are to control it the right way, you can easily eradicate it, so that problem will not be a major problem to threaten the food security of the country.
And my last word, do you think there is a need for a policy initiative to ensure that holistically we tackle this pest?
Yeah, government also should put the necessary policy in place to support the activities of the Plant Protection and Regulatory Services to help it to combat pests when it comes as an emergency situations. Because currently we are not financially strong to be able to support farmers with pesticides and other things when the problem assume a calamity situations. So the Directorate of Plant Protection and Regulatory Service Unit should be supported so that it can get some reserve chemicals to help farmers when we have such emergencies.
I have been speaking to the Regional Plant Protection Officer in the person of Godson Tete, explaining how this armyworm infestation is affecting farmers in the country and what can be done to control the pest infestation on agricultural production. My name is Kofi Edudumfe. Over to you, the studios.